Hi everybody, and thanks for joining us this week on this episode of Up in the Air. I'm Lydia Knox, and joining me at the desk is my fellow Connecticut native, Noah Bergeron.
Thanks, Lydia. It's awesome to be here, and boy, do we have a busy show this week with stories on NASA's new technology, the total solar eclipse, and nanocar racing.
Sounds great, and as always, we'll take a stop by the climate wall later on with Kelly and class to see what the details on the weather are and what we can expect for the upcoming week.
All that and more, but first, here's Update in the Air.
Although August may seem like a ways from now, you may want to take out a pen and your calendar. On August 21st, the first total solar eclipse to cross the United States in 38 years will be visible. The eclipse path almost parallels Interstate 70, which bisects the state of Missouri. Typically, August weather in Missouri is clear, but if the big day dawns cloudy, you can venture to clearer skies. The line of totality sweeps from the northwest corner of the state to the southeast. St. Louis has received calls from Germany, London, and Sweden for the last 2 years and has stocked 400,000 pairs of viewing glasses. Some tips to enhance your viewing experience include monitoring the weather conditions and making sure you're dressed appropriately. Watch for the moon shadow, and during totality, take a few seconds to scan the horizon. Missouri may seem like a distant drive, but the overall experience will be once in a lifetime.
Boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys. If you're a NASCAR fan like myself, you know these famous words of legendary Darrell Waltrip signifying the start of another Sunday afternoon race. While true race fans know that every day is race day, a group of scientists wants to be next in line on the race day action. Nanocars will compete for the first time ever during an international molecule car race on April 28, 2017 in France. The vehicles, which consist of a few hundred atoms, will be powered by small electrical pulses during a 36-hour race, in which they must navigate a race course made of gold atoms and measuring a maximum of only 100 nanometers in length. The race has the aim of testing the performance of molecule machines and the scientific instruments used to control them, one day which may be used to control the movement of a single molecule in a liquid. The first rule of the race, you may ask? Pushing one's nanocar is prohibited. Can't wait to see who the Dale Earnhardt of nanocars is.
NASA is known for space exploration, but in February, the agency spent the month flying airplanes over eastern Washington to test software that could someday reduce travel delays. This new technology could potentially save airlines fuel and reduce pollution from jet engines. In eastern Washington, engineers are responsible for flying 3 planes, which are each a certain distance from one another. This is all a part of a test program to provide better flow management into an airport. NASA came up with a computer program that determines specific flow and helps eliminate excess space between the planes. Less space means more planes can land at an airport in the same amount of time. For passengers in those planes, it would mean less time in the sky. The technology would also help reduce the workload on air traffic controllers, helping them stay focused on other important tasks. However, even though this system cuts down the time in the sky, it would not eliminate travel delays caused by weather or airport construction. NASA scientists have been working on this technology for almost a decade. The software still needs work, and it will be years before this type of technology can take off any commercial flights. Hopefully, we can all benefit from smoother and shorter flights in the near future.
Recently released climate data revealed that the month of February in 2017 was the second warmest February on record. It was the second warmest month in 137 years of modern record keeping, according to a monthly analysis of global temperatures by scientists at NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, GISS, in New York City. Last month it was 1.1 degrees Celsius warmer than the mean February temperature from 1951 to 1980. The 2 top February temperature anomalies have occurred during the past 2 years. The modern global temperature record begins around 1880 because previous observations didn't cover enough of the planet. Monthly analyses are sometimes updated when additional data becomes available, and the results are subject to change.
With mobile apps becoming increasingly popular, there now is an app built to educate and prepare your children in the event of a natural disaster. With the 2017 tornado season off to an unusually violent start, emergency officials say it's time to be prepared, especially children. As of March 15th, there have been 364 reports of tornadoes in the U.S. this year, which is more than double the January 1st to March 15th average of 165 tornadoes. That is why the American Red Cross is urging children to use an app, a game actually, to prepare for tornadoes and other disasters. The app will be rolled out to 40,000 educators with a full lesson plan in the next several months to help students learn the science behind natural disasters. The mobile app called Monster Guard, Prepare for Emergencies, was created in October 2014 and has been continuously updated to educate children from 6 to 11 years old on preparedness for disasters such as fires, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, and earthquakes. The app blends education and entertainment to inform kids how to prepare for emergencies and stay safe during severe weather and natural disasters in a stress-free manner. The Federal Emergency Management Agency's research found that households with school children who brought home disaster preparedness materials were more likely to have disaster supplies, participate in home drills, and have a disaster household plan. Tornadoes and other disasters can happen in any state, which is why it is imperative people know how to react.
When lightning roars, go indoors, reads the famed saying from the National Weather Service. Although a new technology allows you to safely view unbelievable visuals of lightning from inside or outside your home, a recently launched satellite named GOES-R aims to promise a quantum leap in weather forecasting as we know it. Every second, dozens of bolts of lightning crack across the sky with flashes that can reach upwards of 50,000 degrees, 5 times that as hot of the surface of the sun. Pinpointing exactly where and when lightning strikes the earth holds a key for weather forecasting and severe weather outbreaks. Now, for the first time, as this satellite instrument is giving forecasters their best views ever of these dangerous lightning bolts. The spectacular images will help meteorologists increase lead times to severe storm warnings and help us know when a storm is intensifying and becoming more dangerous.
Thanks for tuning back in.
We now have 2 special reports, including one on radon gas
And one on winter sports.
Radon is a radioactive gas that is produced when uranium in soil decays and can be found all over the United States. Radon gas gets into your home by moving up through cracks and holes in the foundation and becomes trapped inside. The radioactive nature of radon is what makes it harmful to our health. Since we inhale it when it's in our homes, it is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States. It can affect anyone of any age and is even more harmful if you smoke. Radon causes 21,000 deaths per year. That's more than drunk driving, drownings, and home fires. Testing for radon in your house is essential to ensure the health and safety of you and your family. If you do find elevated levels of radon of 4 picocuries per liter or more in your home, no fear. The problem can be easily fixed. Some radon reduction systems can reduce radon by up to 99%. So even very high levels of radon can be reduced to safe levels.
Snowboarding, ice hockey, and skating. What do these 4 winter activities have in common, you might ask? These, along with many others like them, are facing an uncertain future, all thanks to rising temperatures and shorter winters. According to the EPA, since 1949, more than 80% of weather stations across the lower 48 have seen more winter precipitation fall as rain rather than snow. This is bad news for resort operators who are seeing ski seasons shrink every year. Snow-based recreation is a nearly $70 billion industry and supports annually over 900,000 jobs. From the Northwest to the Northeast, from the Rockies to the Appalachians, ski resorts and parks are feeling the crunch of warmer winters. Frozen lakes, once popular spots for hockey and ice skating, are seeing their freeze dates going, well, compared to 1905, skating 5 to 11 days later, thawing almost 3 weeks sooner. And it's not just recreational sports that are at risk. In its 2014 sustainability report, the National Hockey League concluded, quote, "The ability to skate and play hockey outdoors is a critical component of the league's history and culture. Many of the NHL's players, past and present, learned to skate outside on frozen lakes, ponds, and backyard rinks. The game of hockey is adversely affected if this opportunity becomes unavailable for future generations." The NHL also stages yearly outdoor games such as the Winter Classic and Stadium Series, which draw tens of thousands of spectators each and every year. Even one of America's crown jewels, the National Park System, is being adversely affected by shorter snowy seasons. Blue Glacier at Olympic National Park in Washington State, for example, lost over 3 football fields worth of ice between 1987 and 2010. Old Man Winter is losing his grasp more and more, and as the winter season continues to compress, the price snow lovers will pay will be costly. This is Jake Langdike for Up in the Air.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Noah, did you get a chance to enjoy any of this warmer weather we experienced this weekend?
Yeah, so luckily I was able to get outside and enjoy. I got to go for a nice long run here on campus, although I wasn't particularly happy with my time. I still got to enjoy the nice weather. How about you?
Yeah, I actually ended up doing the same. I went for a jog with a friend up
Very
to
nice.
the stadium, so it was really nice to enjoy those warmer temperatures. Kellyanne, did you get a chance to get outside this weekend?
Yeah, I actually did. So early Saturday, I walked around campus a little bit, and then Saturday night, I watched Penn State men's hockey advance on into Sunday night. Unfortunately, though, they did not win on Sunday and advance to the Frozen Four. Speaking of frozen and temperatures, let's take a look at the upper air map for this coming week. So most of the United States is going to see not really any type of temperature difference, although areas like Texas and the northwestern portions of the state will start to see a ridge build into their area and have above normal temperatures. As we advance the map on into this coming week, you can see a nice trough here in the New England area that is going to bring colder than average temperatures, and then a nice powerful ridge here is building into Colorado, Nebraska, Texas, Oklahoma, and they will start to see above normal temperatures, although here in Pennsylvania we won't really get any of that as we will start to be normal temperatures for this coming week. Let's take a look at the temperature outlook for the United States. As you can see, really not much is going on here in the terms of below normal temperatures. Most of the state is well above normal, although areas like Maine, Vermont, and New Hampshire, they have nothing going on, although Texas and a bit of North Dakota and South Dakota will be well above normal. Here in State College, though, we'll see right around normal temperatures, maybe a little bit above average, but mostly around normal here in State College. Precipitation outlook. So here in the Northwest Pacific, there are going to see a lot of above normal precipitation for the next coming week. And here in State College, we just make the above normal precipitation map as well. So we'll start to see in the next coming weeks a little bit of more precipitation than we normally would. And then here in Texas and parts of Arizona and New Mexico will start to see below normal precipitation, so they might be a little bit drier than what they've seen. Let's take a look at the drought monitor. So here in California, Nevada, California is starting to see an alleviated drought here, so not as bad as they were a couple of years ago, and they are starting to alleviate from that. If you take a look at the satellites, you can start to see the green compared to a couple of years ago. They were in that you can see like the dirt, and so now you start to see the green and the lushness of California start to come out on those satellite images. Here in the Midwest, though, in Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, they are starting to see severe drought in here, and then in Atlanta, exceptional drought. So they're starting to get dry, and they are not getting any help from the rain at all. Although here in New England, we're starting to clear up here in the drought. Places like Connecticut and Massachusetts are starting to alleviate from the drought. Earlier they had reds on the drought from a couple weeks ago, and they are starting to be alleviated from that, from all that snow that we had from major snowstorms and even some lake effect snow. Although here in Pennsylvania and State College, we're just out of the area for the drought, although places like Harrisburg and Allentown, they still see a little bit of a drought. but will continue to get better as we get more precipitation in the next couple of weeks. Let's take a look at the weekend outlook. Saturday, we have a chance of showers. Could be scattered at times. Highs in the mid-50s, and then on Sunday, high almost at 60. We could possibly even reach 60, and we'll know more as we go on throughout the rest of the week, although partly sunny. If you want to get out on Sunday, make sure to do it. That might be your best day to get out and enjoy the weather, and hopefully I can get out too, as long as I don't have a lot of homework and exams going on for this week. Guys, how about you?
Yeah, we're hoping the same thing here. Saturday doesn't look to be too nice, but Sunday definitely, hopefully, you can get a chance to go for another run. What about you, Noah?
That sounds like a plan to me.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks so much, Kellyanne. That's all we have for this week's episode. I'm Lydia Knox.
And I'm Noah Berger, and we'll see you next week up in the air.